The President of the United States wears a $40,000 Rolex, but he is selling a watch with his name on it for $100,000, a piece he has never once been seen wearing. It represents a significant split in how value is assigned to a luxury timepiece. Usually, a watch derives its worth from its physical properties, the hundreds of hand-finished components and the decades of engineering required to make them tick. The brand's value is built on top of that mechanical foundation. However, these two approaches to watchmaking rely on completely different definitions of luxury. When a billionaire buys a high-end watch for his own wrist, he looks for established, historical craftsmanship. When that same billionaire licenses his name to a watch sold to the public, those priorities flip entirely. Despite a loud public persona, Donald Trump's personal watch collection is surprisingly conservative. He favors quiet, elite pieces from the upper echelon of traditional Swiss watchmaking. His known rotation includes a Patek Philippe golden Ellipse, retailing around $17,500, and an ultra-thin Vacheron Constantin that commands roughly $20,000. But his signature everyday timepiece is a vintage reference 18038 Rolex Day-Date, cast in 36 millimeters of solid 18-karat yellow gold. This specific model carries immense historical weight. It earned the nickname the President because it has been the watch of choice for American leaders ever since Lyndon B. Johnson wore his in the Oval Office. The worth of this Rolex is easily measured. It is backed by decades of mechanical research, built entirely in-house by a vertically integrated Swiss manufacturer, and relies on heavy precious metals. In his private life, Trump adheres to a strict, old-world definition of value. He buys century-old craftsmanship, proven mechanical pedigree, and traditional exclusivity. That philosophy shifts entirely when we look at his public merchandising. In late 2024, a new product line entered the market, Trump watches. The flagship piece of this collection is the Trump Victory Tourbillon. It is marketed with a price tag of $100,000, featuring an 18-karat gold construction and 122 diamonds. However, a close read of the official specifications reveals a glaring detail. Despite costing six figures, the tourbillon watches are not intended for water exposure. Compare that to a standard luxury dive watch. A stainless steel Rolex Submariner is engineered to survive pressure 300 meters below the ocean surface. The specifications drop even further with the entry-level Trump model, the Fight, Fight, Fight. Priced at $499, it relies on a mass-produced Asian automatic movement and a basic mineral crystal. Watch experts immediately noticed the gap. The collection demands the price point of an elite luxury heirloom while offering the technical specifications typically found in a $50 mall watch. This divergence is the logical outcome of a specific financial model. This is an exercise in white label licensing. A third-party company handles the parts, the assembly, and the fulfillment, while the celebrity simply licenses their name and image to the dial. This model bypasses the hardest parts of watchmaking, eliminating research and factory overhead. The financial result? Selling 441 Victory watches at $100,000 each generates $35 million in revenue, almost entirely without physical investment. The buyers are not purchasing Swiss mechanics or deep-sea water resistance. They are willingly paying a premium to acquire a cultural signifier of the Trump name. The strategy relies on a single realization. For a deeply loyal audience, the name printed on the outside of the watch is more valuable than the gears ticking on the inside. We are left with two distinct realities. Trump personally collects heritage pieces from Patek and Rolex, while publicly profiting from a licensed white label brand. This collection is a mirror of his real estate strategy. He built a massive portion of his wealth not by physically constructing towers, but by licensing his name in giant gold letters to properties built by others. His private watch box represents personal taste. His public merchandise represents a mastery of brand capitalization. Traditional luxury requires a century of heritage and engineering to justify its price. Modern capitalism proves you only need a dedicated audience. Trump wears a Rolex President, but sells a Trump Victory. Which one would you buy? The $40,000 legend or the $100,000 controversy? Comment below.